Everyone, Christina Simmons from Say Yes to Holiness here. So again, trying to improve my my setup. So I'm so glad that you're able to join me today. And one of the things that I put as the title for today, gratitude and slavery. And you might be going, how is that even possible? How can we have gratitude and slavery? Well, if we look at slavery in our world, of course, how can we be grateful for something that is so intrinsically evil? We can't be. So let me just put that out there right there. But the slavery I'm talking about are the chains that we ourselves place on ourselves. They're not chains that others place on us, but the ones that we most likely and most usually ignorantly place upon ourselves. And we don't realize that they're chains until we try to set them aside. And then we realize how enslaved we are. But into the midst of all of this comes gratitude. And how does that help us in setting aside, in particular, those things that enslave us? And so I just wanted to take a moment, because today actually is the memorial of Saint Jerome, as well as who I want to talk about today is Saint Josephine Bakhita. And so if you're here and you got a question or something, toss it into the chat. And so glad that you're able to join me today. But St. Josephine Bakhita, many people have heard her story more and more. And because she was made a saint more recently. But the fact is that she was born in the Sudan in Africa. And she was kidnapped and she was made a slave. And very simply, she was shackled, she suffered, she was forced to walk barefoot over 900 miles away from her family and her homeland. And once she reached the slave market, after she had made this long journey, it had been so traumatizing to her that she literally forgot her own name. And this is something that I think all of us, to lose our own name, to lose our identity. And I've talked before about the importance of identity. And here, Josephine, she had forgotten her identity. And what they did is that because she was still alive, the slave traders called her Bakhita, which is an Arab word meaning lucky. And you wouldn't think that someone who is a slave, someone who is, that this could be a lucky person. However, eventually, what happened is that for 10 years, she served various masters, but then eventually she was serving the Michieli family. And the Michieli family, the father of the family, he was an Italian diplomat, and he returned back to Italy, and he brought Bakhita with them when the family returned back. And when they did this, then he got a later assignment, and he and his wife left, but they left Bakhita and their daughter in a convent in Venice. And it was when Bakhita was in the convent that she discovered her true identity, that she discovered that she was a beloved daughter of God. And from there, a total transformation happened. She accepted Christ, she was baptized, and she was living a life of discipleship. She took the name Josephine, and this is why she is Saint Josephine Bakhita. And that she couldn't, the story goes that when she was baptized, she couldn't resist kissing the baptismal font from which it was that she received her true identity and became a child of God. She was once asked what she would tell her captors, those who had enslaved her, if she was returned to the Sudan, and she said, "I would kiss their hands for leading me to a place where I eventually discovered God." Wow. Look at the gratitude that's there. And that's how slavery and gratitude can be in our own lives, is that sometimes, I know for me in my own life, is that the things that have enslaved me, the things that I struggle most against, that they become a source of my encounter with the all-loving and, of course, all-powerful God, who has the ability to heal me of whatever it is that I struggle with, if I ask. And see, and that's the thing. We need to come to our Lord and we need to say, Lord, help me be able to set aside these chains that I have forged for myself and are making my life miserable. And it could be all sorts of things. It could be binge watching shows. It could be, things that in themselves might not seem to be bad, or it could be having that piece of chocolate, all the time. Or, we are tempted to speak ill of other people, to judge them and to speak ill of them. And even when we're trying to change that habit, for example, but then others expect us to have like the latest gossip or whatever it is that they're looking for, and they turn to us, and it's that much harder for us to set aside those chains of gossip and judgment. So in whatever way it is that we struggle, our Lord can heal us. And that's what's so important, is that we can be healed if we desire it. And we have to ask our Lord, Lord, how do you want to heal me? Because many times we'll see our own chains and we'll be like, I want to get rid of this one. So like for a real common one is, we're overweight, or we have an unhealthy habit of some sort and we want to get rid of it. And it's not the right time yet for our Lord to help us get rid of it. And there's lots and lots of times that we try to fix it and we try to deal with it. And many times what it is that God is waiting for us to say, Lord, I can't do it without you. So what we have the opportunity there is to be grateful that this very thing that is enslaving us, that is making our life difficult, that's challenging us, those things that we don't like, we didn't choose, we can't change, and we don't understand, they're giving us the opportunity to encounter our Lord, to be able to say, yes, I am a beloved daughter, just like St. Josephine Bakhita did. I'm a beloved daughter and I was made for more. Please take these chains off of me. And that's exactly what the Lenten season, which is coming soon, is all about, is the opportunity for us to examine our lives through prayer and through fasting, being able to remind ourselves of our need for God. And then our almsgiving is to give of ourselves to others. And most often that's, almsgiving is associated with giving charity and doing things like that. But it's about giving ourselves to others. That's what almsgiving is. And in the midst of all of that, we come to find where our Lord wants to heal us so that we can live a truly resurrected life come Easter. So, I'm inviting you to start reflecting little bit by little bit. What are the chains that bind you? What are the things that are preventing you from being able to enter ever more deeply into a relationship with our Lord, entering more deeply into friendship with Him, so that you can experience that life of purpose and peace and abundance that He so desires for you, that He created you for it, because you are His beloved son or daughter. So that's what I hope for you this week. So my challenge for you is to give thought about what are the chains that bind you, and how might you start to go about sacrificing, offering up those things that bind you, those things that you don't like, you didn't choose, you can't change, and you don't understand, especially offering those things up and asking our Lord, Lord, if it's your will, you can heal me. And from there, to find the great joy that comes from us being His beloved children. So I hope that this has served you today. Keep an eye out. I'm having a Lenten workshop, a pre-Lenten workshop that is going to happen on February 20th, Sunday, February 20th, 6 p.m. Central Time. And in that 1 hour, I'm going to speak about those traditional practices of Lent, prayer, fasting, and almsgiving, and also being able to help you be able to design those resolutions that will help you be able to really live Lent more fully, so you can really live that Easter life. So I hope that you'll plan on joining me. You can go to sayyestoholiness.com and you can click on the link to register for this free workshop. That's going to be happening on Saturday, February 20th from 6 to 7 p.m. Central Time. Again, I hope this has served, and I really have enjoyed my time with each and every one of you today. God bless.